One negative thing about the trip would be the timing of it, because we went in May when it was in Muscat and the Middle East, and it was really hot and really humid, so it was a lot of physical exertion. So the timing, if we'd gone earlier, it would have been a lot better. But a positive was building our team skills, so there were certain things that we would have group discussions about whether we split up or stay together, and also just general like hands-on teamwork, like helping during kayaks or helping another teammate out, so that's positive.
I believe that the three best things that we had during IA was that we had planned our food very well, which wasn't an issue. The other thing that I found that really helped us was that we had packed enough and not excess compared to last year, which kept our bags light and let us trek a lot more along with the kayaking. The third best thing that I felt was that we had planned our routes pretty well, thanks to Parshva and Kevin, which helped us go around the area much easier than what we would have done if we wouldn't have planned it properly. Three bad things that we faced during the trip were that we had a lot of arguments, which wasn't very healthy for our teamwork, but we sorted those out once we reached a conclusion. Though it took some time, we did reach conclusions in the end. We also had issues in understanding each other, because we only thought about ourselves instead of the whole group. This was portrayed when we left Mr. Brace at the beach, and we then got an idea of what would take place had the boat not come. Last but not the least, the third issue that we faced was that we separated during the last hike, which instead of 25 minutes took about an hour. I believe that both the groups were right in their own senses, because Parfa's group, which included me, was depending on the GPS, while Conrad was moving up with his group using his own instincts. I believe that we should have come to a conclusion much faster than fighting / arguing.
Another bad point regarding the trip was our teamwork and the aspect of sticking together as a group. So we did not stick together as a group too well, and we did have lots of arguments. Best point of our trip was the valuable lessons we've learned. Definitely the valuable lessons we've learned. A really good point is also new skills that we've learned, right? We've learned how to use the GPS. We've learned kayaking skills. We even snorkeled there and had fun. So that was a first time for me, looking at all those wonderfully colored fishes and sharks. It was amazing. The experience was just amazing. Other good points was other valuable lessons that we learned from the trip was from the mistakes that happened in the trip and from the mistakes that we made. So we basically learned from these mistakes and we know how to improve from it. So when we have our next trip, the gold trip or whatever trip we have as a group or with our families or whatever, we know some safety aspects. We've understood more about the weather. We've understood how important communication is, and from what we've understood, from what we've learned, we'll be much more organized in planning a new trip and making a more successful trip. So in the end, it's just lots to learn from this trip. It was an amazing trip. Bye.